Everybody, and welcome back to Splatoon at Low Tide City. We are heating up as the action continues to go on forward with our top 6 of the, what is it, evening now? I guess it's afternoon.
Does it count?
Afternoon.
I don't know exactly what counts. My name's Kbot, joined by Magic and Lily. You've seen the both of them on the mic earlier in the weekend. And I'm joining from finally getting pulled out from behind the TO desk.
Good.
Yeah,
We rescued
maybe
him.
good. Maybe good. I don't know. No, it's been a good time.
I've missed your soothe voice on the mic.
Well, hey,
Is
doing
this
our
an
best.
ASMR stream?
could be.
Well, it's
Hey,
not really like
everybody.
late night.
Welcome
It's not,
in.
I mean,
I mean, what's
it's
wrong
not
with an
going to be. No,
afternoon
no.
ASMR
It's
stream?
not time
There's
to
no
wind down.
shot. Magic's sitting right here. Do you have any idea? I think we literally heard you from the opposite side of the venue while it
Yeah.
was full.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait,
I mean,
actually?
you
Yeah.
are loud,
Yeah.
and this stream is probably about to get quite loud as well. Next up is going to be
100%.
the 2 top seeds of the tournament that we have not seen on stream yet, and that was planned, folks. FTW, or not FTW. Maybe they're not FTW.
I don't think they're FTW.
Not
They
FTW.
claim they're not FTW, but come on, gang. Versus 1, 2, 3, 4. So it should be a good one here to take a look at as we potentially look at our rosters for these 2 squads. You can start to see them. They're getting set up, talking on stage. Looks like a handful of stuff is going on, but
Audio
look,
issues.
probably worth mentioning, okay? This FTW roster, Ice, Bagel, Kyo, Biscuit. That's why it's not the same FTW you know and love.
Yeah.
It's just another, it's another one of those pickup rosters that's got FTW members, it's got Starburst members, it's got everyone, and they're the favorites to win the tournament.
Of
Oh.
course. Of course. I mean, that just makes sense. They're the favorites to win every tournament.
I mean,
I mean,
hey,
we were all talking about coming in here, and we're like, okay, so this would just be a competition who gets second.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
well,
I mean, even on the
Unless-
podcast, like, we were talking about how Raze and Popgun were just so incredibly convinced that nobody was going to even, like, scratch FTWin.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they've even been scratched.
they've been scratched.
Oh.
Really?
Blush was able to take a game off of them
Oh.
earlier today.
Wow.
There was a bunch of shouting over there when that happened.
Dang.
And so we'll see if FTW can continue to pull that forward. But of course, on the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4. Kennard, Nishi, Flavor, and Leotos. These players have all been around the scene for quite some time, and they're pretty known entities, yeah?
I've never heard it pronounced flavor before.
Flavor, Flabber,
Flabber.
Flabber.
That's how
I
I've
thought it was
done
flavor.
it. Really? Am I insane?
I mean, you're the Canadian one, so.
That's the, yeah.
Yeah.
Skill diff.
Either way, these players are very experienced, very well known. Kennard, although has not been in the scene too recently, did well at Riptide. Leotos did very well at Riptide and has been competing in tournaments here and there ever since. These are great players, and this is the best chance that we're going to see FTWin sweat.
Yeah, and like I said, potentially they've already sweat it, earlier today. There's a possibility where there's going to be a little bit more as FTW continues to try to maintain their pride. We're going to be monitoring things. It sounds, by the looks of it, we're going to be hopping into the lobby here shortly. First map is going to be Tower Control on Manta Maria. Don't think we're going to see any
Ooh, okay.
Splatlings on land, though.
I mean, maybe.
Maybe.
It's a tough call, though. I mean, most people don't want to play Splatlings on land, and they feel a little bit funny, right? They take a little bit of getting used to. So no one really wants to touch it unless you're like a main, like Devi or Popgun, right?
Yeah.
So you tend to want to lean on something a little bit more reliable on the land atmosphere. I don't know. What do you think we'll see?
It's going to be tough. I'm expecting to see things like Slosher and a lot of shooters on the side of 1, 2, 3, 4, as well as the Squiffer. I know they've been
Alright.
sticking to their stuff. And Nishi, especially on that H3, is going to be an impressive
Yeah.
showing. I am expecting Nishi to actually do very well in this situation if the team can help them.
Now, a bit of insider info. I know for a fact that Kyo's been playing Blaster just to have a little
Yes.
bit of fun, and told me before this that he's been really enjoying it and wants to keep playing it. So maybe we'll see some more Kyo Blaster.
We're just going to have to wait and see as we load on into the map here. I mean, hey, Blaster on land, especially for Kyo, sounds pretty
Tasty.
fun. Sounds like there's going to be plenty of pop-off moments to come, and we're going to go
doesn't
this.
look like
Never
it.
mind, we do get a Splatling, of course. It's Biscuit on the Nautilus.
This is Winners Finals here at Low Tide City in 2022, and I love this clan tag that we're seeing from the 1, 2, 3, 4 squad and the name tags as well as they're getting into mid, trying to find a pick, and do early on.
Are going to be able to find that early on. That's be a bit of a neutral game as these teams start to feel each other out. We're going to continue to carry this one on forward, and Flabber's just going to go ahead and go in, get a little bit of poke damage, try to extend a little bit, and support the rest of the teammates, as it looks like one of the members of not FTW was overextending there.
That was an absolutely perfect pick on Kyo. Kyo going for that early flank, unfortunately getting picked off by, I believe, Nishi and Kennard. They did a fantastic job.
So, if Ice can manage to at least avoid the bomb rushes here, the specials are coming online for FTW, and they're looking like they could make a move. That's a quick wipe that we see after the missiles pop in, and Biscuit ends up going large on that Inkjet. And now Bagel's getting set up in this top left area, which is exactly where they're going.
FTWin knocking down at 1, 2, 3, 4, just 1, 2, 3, 4, pushing this all the way to second checkpoint, claiming that first one like it was nothing.
But it's the missiles, it's the armor, and then it's the Stingray to follow up from FTW, and that's what they're known for. These players have played with each other so much, so often, and they're just going to be able to do their thing right up until the enemy has ink armor. That's Flabber hopping on top of the tower for the numbers squad, and they're going to continue to swarm around there, so starting to build up a little bit more momentum into mid, and they already have a special advantage that they're looking to continue to make a push.
And they do have bunker control at the ready, though Leos has to get popped out, and unfortunately they're going to have to get back up because of that. Leos having that bunker control is so big for them to keep people off of that higher area above where the tower is going, and because of that, although Bagel goes down, FTWin is looking to get back in control, back in the neutral area.
And looking at Kyo coming out there on top of that bunker area, just a fantastic defense and a fantastic offense, able to run across those grates and right into action. Leoto's here with this fantastic engine, unfortunately going down to that splat bomb from Kyo. Always, always those eagle eyes watching out for things to pick off.
Eagle Eyes picking off another, and that's going to be a 3-down situation for numbers. Gives mid control, gives this tower push back on over to not FTW. Perhaps they look to extend their lead, but they're feeling pretty confident after pushing past 2 checkpoints. Of course, they're always looking for more. Inkjet, Ink Armor goes out. Biscuit up in the sky looking for one. Is going to be able to find Kennard. Now looking on to Nishi, is able to find that one, and it's another 3-down situation for the number squad. They have to be extremely careful in the respawns here because FTW is going to cruise past the checkpoint and things are going to go very fast down to the bottom. Kyo is going to be able to fall right on top of Leo, and that is going to be game 1 to not FTW.
And once you get onto that mast area, there's no stopping that train from rolling, especially with a player like Kyo who's just going to land every single shot. That was massively impressive, and a really good point. They knew that they had gotten through those first 2 checkpoints, and so they were steamrolling so far ahead, which is something that you traditionally don't see. But on a closed-in map like Manta Maria, you can afford to just block off all the entryways.
Yeah, and you see Kyo there was already up on that spawn mast, just holding that space, waiting for the right moment to drop down right on top of the people who were going to stop the tower. Kyo wasn't worried. He knew he had it. He knew his teammates had it. He just waited for the perfect moment to pop that trap.
Absolutely. I mean, hey, look. Again, when you're that confident, you're up 2 checkpoints, you're not the one that's got to be taking the initiative to try to stop things. It's your opponents that really have to start stepping up and really have to send things back the other direction. And so we'll see exactly what happens there. I think, okay.
Marsh.
Backstory here. Marsh is currently doing spec cam operations, and we still hear game audio. I don't know if stream hears game audio, but he's scrolling through the mode list the entire time, and so it's just that clicking sound.
The fun thing, I did that when we were playing too. When we were playing, waiting for everyone to get in the lobby, I was just sitting there. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna hold the button here and wait for it.
Make everyone listen.
But now
to
he's
it.
griefing stream.
Yeah.
Right.
Griefing stream.
Like, come on.
That's such a Marsh
Getting
thing
us
to do.
distracted. What's up with that?
Griefing us, which I mean, fair. It's
Yeah.
Marsh. It's Marsh.
That's Marsh. I mean, there was nothing else that could have been expected there.
Counterpick looked like it came in finally. I see Clam Blitz? No, Splat Zones on Mako
All right.
Mars.
It's a classic. It's a comfort pick, probably for both of these squads. I mean, that's the really scary thing, especially when we're at this kind of a level.
Yeah.
You're thinking about Kyo has a blaster, has a bucket, has literally anything to get around those stacks on Mako Mart. But you also have to imagine that if you're counterpicking this for the side of 1, 2, 3, 4, they have to have something else at their ready that they can pull out of their pocket.
Well, I mean, absolutely, but what do you pull out against FTWin? That's the problem, right? Like, not only are you counterpicking, you got to counterpick something you're comfortable in. You got to watch out for FTWin. And at this point in competitive, a lot of our map list has been narrowed down to some really nice picks that most of the community agrees on.
Right.
Most.
Most and agrees also.
Agrees.
Yeah, agrees. Most of the community agrees on. So because of that, you have FTWin, who's practiced on all of these maps and is a huge challenge regardless of what you put them on.
I did see that Nishi did not go for NZAP on that tower control match, and although it is hard for NZAP to H3 to work well there. I'm expecting to see it here, and that's probably why they went for it. No, still sticking with that end zap.
NZAP, got to farm up those armors faster and faster, especially for Flabber, especially for Kennard, getting in there, getting those players in there, and especially for Leo to feel more confident, popping that inkjet potentially. And you already see it, Leo getting caught out almost instantaneously as FTW looks to hold on to the neutral early.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job getting that push off, but Kyo already down is going to give 1, 2, 3, 4 a chance to move on up and take this zone. They have to keep an eye on Bagel on there on the right, and a beautiful pick from Leotos is going to give them absolute control of this mid while they attempt to set up that lockdown.
Bomb launcher looking for a little bit more pressure as well in front of this zone. It's going to grant 1, 2, 3, 4 the lead early here, but they got to be careful of Kyo. He's going to be able to find a double there on the stack. It's going to open up the door of opportunity for FTW start in, and that's really what's allowing this special push to be so successful.
And it looks like Kyo is trying to make a move forward a little bit more, but that's going to be a little bit too over-aggressive. Leotos can manage to dodge around this bomb rush and is able to stay alive, trying to jump out, is able to get there. They're going to have these specials online once again, and Flabber bringing down the hammer and is able to get one down. This is the man advantage that they need.
It is absolutely worth noting here that Numbers managed to make it through that entire lockdown without losing a single player, but as soon as they dropped into mid, FTWin was just waiting for them. They lost one on that opening, but they were ready there for that hold.
Absolutely ready for the hold and now ready to take things right back. You see how they're just taking the map control. They're making sure Flabber can't go anywhere. They're making sure the other members of the 1, 2, 3, 4 can't go anywhere. But now they're looking to come on back, and 1, 2, 3, 4's got to come back soon. Leo has to try to find a pick here from the far side. We'll have to see exactly what happens. It's now the Ink Armor's ready, the Ink Jet's ready, they're going in. We're going to see exactly how this goes. Ice is going to be forced to jump out, and that's going to be the zone cap.
And this is where 1, 2, 3, 4 wants to be. Their LDE has all been activated. I believe they had 4 members all had it, and they're going to have a lot more fighting power because of it. This is huge, and look at how the bomb rushes and the specials are able to wall out Kyo completely and having to back him up. Flabber end up going down on the other side of the map, but is going to get respawned. This is the push that they need, and FTWin is in perfect position.
Oh, Kyo coming up from behind, able to surprise one. Will he surprise anybody else? As FTW continues to look in position, now finds 2, looking for another, is able to find that slush. Kyo is playing this so well, able to come up with catching these members off guard, and now Max Range is going to be able to come up with yet another one to keep FTW ahead.
An absolutely beautiful wipe on the part of Kyo, very specifically Kyo, going that absolute long flank and still managing to stay alive here on the enemy snipe. Might even be able to go for another. The enemies, the enemy team is just swarming through, and 1, 2, 3, 4 is at a loss.
They're at a loss, and it looks like they're trying to at least manage to get a little bit of mid back. But with Ice on this stack, they're not going to be able to find much. That's 2, trying to go huge. Kyo ends up getting the other 2, and that's the bomb rush coming in, and FTWin is down to Clown around, getting 2 and 0.
Oh, down to Clown.
Down to Clown.
We love it.
Is that like juggle joke or something? Because
I think Magic.
1, 2, 3, like.
Oh, I thought it was
are
because
you
Magic
labeling the
is
numbers
magic
on the-
beings.
What?
Clowns. I don't know. They feel like they go with magic.
I mean,
Anyway.
is that a slight on me, or is that a slight on everyone who's done magic
I don't know. You're the
tricks?
clown.
That is true.
So again, the answer is, what do you do against FTW? Because
I
it looks like at this point, their players are starting to come online. You see Kyo coming online. You see Ice hitting shots left and right. You've seen Biscuit be very aggressive, or on that Inkjet too. What are you going to throw at this squad? What
Ice
can
is
you
hitting
do?
shots and directions I didn't know existed.
Yeah, right.
So, I think the answer is not zones. But unfortunately, a lot of these top player teams, they practice, honestly, a lot of zones. So,
I see the map mode, and it's Clam Blitz on
Perfect.
the Reef.
Perfect.
Perfect for you.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
My name's Lily. I love Clam Blitz.
Talk to me about Clam Blitz. Why do you think Clam Blitz could be the play here?
Well, just in general, I think Clam Blitz is always the play. In general, it's
okay.
the ultimate mode
All right,
that shows off
here
all
we
aspects.
go.
But the
Here
point
we go
here
again,
is
Chad.
that zones is the most practiced mode in top level. So you don't want to take the best team in top level to zones. You want to take them to something else. Tower control. No one likes tower control. Like, one person likes tower control, and they're wrong. Rainmaker,
Yeah.
too snowbally. Clam Blitz feels a bit safer. It's like zones, but better.
Yeah, a lot of top players, from what I have heard, Clam Blitz is often their second mode to go to because of how it functions in a similar way, although not exactly. It's focused around team play. It's focused on locking out one specific area once you get control of it.
Yeah.
And so because of that, it's very familiar to them.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why Claim Blitz isn't very liked, right? You play it in your solo queue games, and you're like, Come on, team. Come on with me. Get in there. We got to go to this together. But alas, it doesn't happen. We're going to be hopping into the game here in just a little bit as we prepare.
Just stop playing solo.
I mean,
just stop.
And then you try playing twins because you don't have 2 other friends available, and then it's maybe even worse because there are less people playing. All right. Regardless, we're not here to talk about solo queue. We're here to talk about this game. Ice, going back to the bamboo, realizes that Ice is not going to be able to be as stationary on Clam specifically here, and even Biscuit switching it up a little bit with the Kenta 52 as well.
I love that Kennard's picking the K-Pro here. It's giving them enough distance and the bomb pressure against that K-52 gal, as well as the Booyah Bomb to still get them in.
Yeah, and absolutely alongside that, Tri-Slosher as well. Try to shut down Kyo with as many long-range weapons as possible. Try to make sure that this man cannot move. That's going to be so critical as they take care of business here. But already, Biscuit coming up the side. You see FTW starting to make a push together, and they're going to start getting some picks. They're going to start getting some clams, and you'll see very quickly they're going to get Power Clam to get their first score on the board.
We love to see that first score coming on in, and not too long into this match and continuing. The team was ready with some more clans there, and another 9 in the hands of teammates if they can get them in to the basket anytime soon. They might have to abandon this soon, though. 1, 2, 3, 4 is coming out with a beautiful show of force to try to clear out that car and get a beautiful wipe on FTWin.
That was
very
clean.
Nice. Clean here overall.
And because they were able to do this, they can get mid-control very quickly if Biscuit doesn't end up sharking them out. And Leos doesn't see it. They need to be careful of every single member of FTWin. They can always get that sneaky play going. They're all playmakers, and that's just going to be a little bit too tough, especially since the jump is coming here because of the wall. And that's why you have to use K-52.
That's why K-52 was one of the best weapons in the game for a little while, and arguably still very much is in this meta. But now you see FTW continue to put in some pressure. There's Kyo able to find another pick. That power climb being down is going to be a problem for 1, 2, 3, 4, but the first problem is getting FTW out of your barrier area. Here comes Ice with the bamboo, tries to find the 1v1, but Biscuit's going to come up from the other side here as well. Get another double, get another few down, able to take care of more business. And again, it's FTW being unpredictable, being all over the place, being in your face, and being everywhere. And finally, Biscuit goes down here.
And at this point, what do? Do you just leave the car? I mean, you don't really need your car, but if you leave them there, you have the danger of FTWin just jumping in with more footballs. You don't want that either. So do you abandon the car and try to take control of mid and then hope Biscuit doesn't flank you? What do you do here?
I don't think that there's a solid answer. I think you need to, at the end of the day, you need to get them down. You need to figure out a way to circumvent their pressure and finally just poke in at the sides, and they're so big.
They're so
big.
fast. They get all over the place. They go everywhere. It's Biscuit. It's Kyo. It's Ice coming up next. They're staggering things, and they're able to take care of business. Only one more Clems needs to go in, and it will. That's FTW taking it 3-0. And 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to have to get sent to losers for another shot.
Now, we were talking about whether or not that was the answer. Was it the answer? I mean, clearly they didn't win, but do you think it was a better showing than we saw in zones?
Honestly, no. I think that they did better on zones. They had a couple of caps. They had a bunch of solid retakes. Like, that was really... Zones, at least they showed that they can make them go back. They can stop the wall from coming at them.
Now, it was definitely a better showing than tower control. Tower control felt a little bit like a snowball.
Yeah.
Absolutely had no footing to fall back on. Clams felt a little better than that, but still not quite as good as zones.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, I don't know. I mean, hey, look, we're at a loss for answers. That's why we keep posing the question. What do you do against this squad? Who knows? How are you supposed to beat them? How are you supposed to beat them at LAN when they're all feeding off the energy of one another, when they're feeding off the energy of the room? That's the other thing to consider here, is this LAN environment. How does that feel? Especially, you don't have, wired connection anymore. You've got to sit here in front of the fans, in front of the Smash Brothers folks that I'm sure you all are hearing off to the side. Half the time you hear yelling, that is probably from them. There is so much activity and so much hype happening. For those of you that aren't here, the Splatoon stage is literally right next to the Smash Brothers stage. It is literally right over there. I'm looking at the back of it. In fact, I can wave to the commentators if I want.